Hello and welcome to another video. Now it's been a while since I last made a video, but this one is really interesting. So if you're like me and you struggle a lot with files and stuff, so you can't find anything, or whenever you're trying to search it on the Explorer, it's like takes forever, then this video is for you. Because today I'll show you a software that's really handy when you're trying to find a software or trying to copy paths, and just makes everything a little bit simpler and easier to manage. So first, let me demonstrate the issue that I am trying to convey, so it's a bit easier to understand about what I am saying. So let's open a file explorer. So we have some file, and as you can see here, I have a bunch of files and there is a lot of stuff in this. So if I try to search something, so let's say I want to find the Ubuntu ISO, which I do have, like I do know I have it. So if I type in Ubuntu, you'll see it says it's working on it. So let's just give it a few seconds and there it pops up. So now that took a bit of time, and you can't actually just, if you try to copy this like path, you have to go to the location, then just go here and then copy it, and then you just don't have the name. It's a bit of a mess. So it will all be clear what I mean when I just show you the application. And yeah, I do have a lot of distribution, so don't worry about any of that. So now, let me demonstrate what I mean about this software. First, let's install it. So how do you install this software? So first, you just open up a tab. So here I have a tab. You can just go to a website called Void Tools. And you'll see the first thing that pops up is this. So the software is called Everything, and it is by Void Tools, and it's an amazing software. So let me just get an installer. So if I just click on this, and you won't believe how lightweight it is. So you must be thinking, well, if it has a bunch of features, it must be very heavy, but it's actually not. As you can see, it's only like 1.7 megabytes or something like that. So it's really lightweight. And the installation process is just you open the file, you just go over it and you just say agree, and then just hit next. And as you can see here, it says the space required is almost like 3 megabytes. So yeah, it's really lightweight. And you can see there is a few options here if you want to enable them. So you can you run it as an administrator, which is like, I do not recommend it for anything if you don't absolutely need it. Because, however trusted something is, if you don't want, like if the software doesn't need it, you shouldn't just give it administrator permissions. So just keep that in mind. And you can also choose where it installs. So if you are using a machine which can be configured to have multiple users, you can have it in app data. So it will be specifically for your system. So for your user, or you can just have it in an installation folder. So it's the default C program files. So it will be basically just here, and you can find it here in program files, but you can just leave it as is. So you don't have to mess with anything. Just hit next and it should do everything for you. For this example, we don't need that much. So we'll just hit install and it will install it in like seconds. As you can see, it's basically installed. And once you hit finish, it will open it up. And in the bottom, it will say it's scanning all your drives. The first boot of it will take a bit of time. So it will check everything that it needs. And as you can see, it is sorted. We will go over all of the feature it has. So the main point of this video is like searching for stuff. So let me search the same thing. Let me just close this. So if I just search Ubuntu, as you can see, it's basically real time. And here, as you can see, it's telling me that I have 2 versions of Ubuntu. Now, remember, the first time I searched this, we only got one version. And as you can see, I also have one that says Ubuntu. So it's basically checking for everything that has the name Ubuntu in it. So you can see there's repositories, you can see, and also it will show the directory. Okay, you can see Ubuntu MP4. So it will give you almost everything, and you saw how fast it is. So it's basically real time. If you want Kali, so if I want Kali, you can see everything that has the Kali name in it will be searched. Now, of course, it's not just that. So it's already convenient enough that you can do that much and that fast. And you can also see how many objects you have. So how many files, folders, and everything included, how many stuff you have basically. So, and first, since we installed it, let's talk about interface. So as you can see, it's like dead simple. So it's basically just the GUI that has your files and a bunch of menus. And if you hover over them or go through them, you can see it's not really complicated. So it's not like you have like separate menus and menu within menus. It's basically a simple UI that helps you find stuff. But let's see, let's go over that search again. So if we do Ubuntu again, you can see that there are a bunch of options. Now, since I don't have that many things that represent Ubuntu, it will be a good example to show you. So if you go on the search option, you can see there are a bunch of options. Yeah, that's not much of a surprise. So you can see you can go to match case, and you have keyboard shortcuts for all of them, which is really nice. If you do match case, it will follow the case of your typing. So it will be case sensitive. So if you just do, let's just enable it. So we'll do match case. And as you can see, as soon as we enable it, half of our results are gone. Let's see why. So if I just close this, you can see this U was capitalized and this was also capitalized. So once we said to match the case, since we typed it with a lowercase u, it followed everything with lowercase, which is really nice. So if we do match whole word, so if we do this, it will match the entire word, where by default it will just be like happy with even if half of it matched. So you see it says ubu. So if I do match whole word now, you can see nothing will come up because this word doesn't match anything accurately. So it's really hard to find anything which you want to match everything, and it really helps to narrow down your results. And if you are watching this video, you probably faced it where you tried to search in File Manager and it showed like a million search results, and you like, by the name of God, just let me filter this thing. So this basically adds that functionality. And now, if you're thinking, well, you already have File Explorer, you can also use this as a File Explorer because, well, it is a File Explorer. So if you want to, let's say, if you want to play this, you can just double click on it and it will open it. So basically, you can just use it as a File Explorer, and let's just turn this off. And now here's something. So if I type this and you search for match path, so it will match anything that matches with this. But other than that, these are like not that important. So you can see that if you hover over this, in the bottom it will show what it does. So in this case, you can see it says toggles the search to match case or ignore case. Toggles the search to include the full path and file name or just the file name. So this one, which says match diacritic, is basically saying that if you have any special characters in the name, so let's say some word from French or Spanish, which are allowed to be used as a file name, but they can be a little bit hard to distinguish and it can be harder to find. So you can just enable this. For the demonstration, I don't have anything installed like that, so any special characters, so I can show you that probably, but or you are someone who uses a language which has this type of characters which are a bit special or out of the English alphabets, then you can use this. But now let's get to the more fun part. You can see here it has a lot of options, and we'll quickly go over them because these are basically really self-explanatory. You can see it has everything. So it can find anything you want. So you can search by audio, so it will only show audio files. You can go to compress, so it will only show zip files, and it is a bit interesting. So stay tuned while we explain compressed files. Then you can have documents, so it's basically text like docs, Excel, like Excel files, everything that can and will fall under documents will show up here. You can see executables. So basically any type of program that you may have on a system. So it includes MSI as well as EXEs. So executables, any command prompt scripts. So anything that can be executed will show up here. Then you have folders. So again, self-explanatory. It just shows folders, pictures, videos. So video, pictures, so pictures. So any file type that matches that category will be shown when you get here. So let's talk about compressed a bit. So compressed has some special actions associated with them. For example, you need to unzip them or uncompress them. So you can see there is a bunch of stuff. So this is a custom ROM that I have for a while. So if you want to unzip it, just right click on it and it will show every operation you can do with it right in there. And you can see it has open path, full name to clipboard. We'll go over them as well. But as for unzipping them, you can just use the software that you have. And I really like 7-zip because, well, it's basically almost feels like it's integrated to the system. So you can just use 7-zip and you can just, once you do extract here, it will basically just extract it right there. So now if you want to check it, you can just open path and it will open the path in your in your file explorer. And as you can see, it did make a mess here. So yeah, I'll clean it up later, but you get the point. So if you want to open some path, you can go here. And if you want to copy the path, you can just copy the whole path, and I'll just show you right here. You can see it copied the entire path. And now if you notice that this path also got highlighted since we typed in the entire path. So if you just type in a path, it will also recognize that. So if I just do this, you can see it will show everything in this directory. And this is what this does. So match path, it will match the path that is here. So that was basically it for searching files, sorting them out, filtering them. You can also add to filters. So you can just make up your own filters. So if you just say random, excuse me. So if you just type random, you just enable a bunch of things. So I can just do regex. You can have keyboard shortcuts. So basically what shortcuts to use when you just do this filter. So we will skip that. And if you just do OK, then you can see that once you go to search, you will have an extra filter that says random. So you can customize this however you want. So the filters option is very customizable and you can do whatever you want basically. So you can also you have advanced search, which is really like off the charts customizable. So you can basically Like there is no way if you remember the exact file name and roughly where to look for it, you can basically search it from here. So as you can see, this says all these words. So this basically allows you to say like which words you can search. So you can say use spaces to separate words, use star to match 0 or more characters, and you can also do question marks to match a single character. And you can also have like exact phrase, and this phrase basically says that you can have spaces. So in this case, it will like ignore spaces, and every space it will separate the words. So in here we have Ubuntu space Kali. This will look at Ubuntu and Kali as two different words. Like I mean two different things to search for. Whereas in a phrase, it will not look for, like it will not find them as separate word. It will basically just look at them as the part of the same thing. So this here is one search. This is also another search, where this is an entire search. I hope you get my point. And if you see here, it's basically same thing. So if you can also do this here. So all these words mean that both of these need to be included in the search, where any of these words means that either one should be fine. So if it finds either of these, then it will show those results, where in all these words, it will just look for anything that has both of these words in them. So then you can say none of these words. So if you are like absolutely sure that there are some words that you don't need, let's say Fedora. So we don't want anything that has that name in it. So this helps you narrow down the search a lot. And if you are judging by the customizability of this, I don't think there's anything in your computer that you can't find if you are going this deep. And this is basically just telling you that if there is any special word or any special phrase that may be in the file, so you can also include that. So this is basically giving a warning that the content is not, file content is not indexed, and combining it with other filters is for the best performance. So since we're using this, we should not need it. So then you can also specify where to look for this. So I don't think we need to specify this. We can just look for it everywhere. And if I do OK, you can see it found Ubuntu. And also you can see how this like manages to do the search. If you have this, and if you are familiar with programming, you would know that this basically means a not. So it's telling that this word is not needed. And here you can see there is a long stick looking thing, which is basically an OR. So if you know programming, it's basically a bitwise OR. So it's saying either one of these should work. So if my hunch is correct, I should be able to do an AND, and it won't find anything. Now you can see there is a bookmark option. So what the heck is a bookmark? So you can actually bookmark the search that you already did. So let me just do this get this on default so we don't confuse tracks. So we can do Ubuntu again, and we can just add this to bookmark. So also you can see that there are a bunch of options. So this says if case match was open, if the whole word was open, if it was matching path, so everything that you set up for this search, it will remember. Then you can say the view types, so details, thumbnail types, so everything. So how to sort it? You have a lot of option in this matter. So then once you hit OK, it's saved to a bookmark. Then you can just click on this and it will do that search again. So if you are looking for files, or if you're working on a project which uses a bunch of files and you need to quickly access them and find wherever everything is, or if it's like really unorganized and you want to find stuff really quickly, you can just use a bookmark. Or if you already searched something and you think maybe you need it later, you can also use a bookmark that will help you like remember what you actually need. And this also have a bunch of options. So again, this is not the end of it. You can like view stuff, you can view filters, you can view previews. So the preview option is basically just shows you a little menu like on the side of what this actually is. So if it has a preview, it will show it. As you can see, this has a preview, so it will show it. And this is an like audio file, so it doesn't have a preview. Then you can have like filters, so it will show what it is filtering. Then you can have like the thumbnail size. This is basically how big these things are. So you can customize it however you want. As you can see, you can really get into it. Also, you have window size. So if you do auto fit, it will fit to the top of the screen. So, and if you do large, it will just snap to the large grid. Then you have zoom. So you can see how to zoom. So yeah, you can just hit Control plus and it will zoom in, and Control minus will get off the zoom. So this is basically a complete file explorer. You can, if you go to file, you can close this, you can export files, you can open files, open path, open clipboards, and delete, rename them. You can see properties, everything. You can also copy a file to a folder. You can also move it. So if you do copy to a folder, you can just select where you want to copy it. So yeah, and once you hit OK, to just move it from here to there. And you can also connect to an ETP server. So if you have a homemade server or NAS, you can also connect it through here. So I don't have a server, so I can't actually demonstrate it. And I would recommend you playing with it if you have a server, so you get the best experience. And that's basically it. That's it for everything. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe and leave a like and let me know what you thought about this software. And if you would like me to do more of this and show you a few software that I like to use and a few tricks that help you a lot in a day-to-day life. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.